you can try to help, because this is not okay.
Yeah, well, that's a real sad story. What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And you know, I don't want people to think that I'm insensitive and I'm not in tune with folks' feelings. I too can be sensitive. I have feelings too. So, you know, as I sat there watching this guy, I guess Herb Street, I don't know how you pronounce it, never seen this guy in my life. But nonetheless, I did come across this clip where he's boo-hooing all because the way black folks been treated and the stuff that they got to worry about every single day almost broke me up on the inside. So I said, instead of being an ogre, you know, maybe I should just sing him some songs to make him feel a little bit better. Let me think of one. Let me see. Oh, cry, baby, cry. Cry, baby, cry. Yeah, cry, baby. Oh, wait. Here's another one. Let me see. The baby on the bus goes round and round. Round and round. Yeah, round and round. Jazz hands. You know, those are some cuts that I think, you know, might be suitable for him. Might make him feel a little bit better on the inside. So with that being said, let's take a look at what got this man all broken up.
It's one thing to have rallies. It's one thing to skip a practice because of social injustice. It's one thing for the NBA and the NFL to miss games, to make a statement. Those things are great. But my question is, what's next? What does that lead to? You go back to practice the next day. What will lead to change? And I really think, I was talking to David Shaw, the head coach at Stanford, who really, he and I had a great talk. I love listening to his wisdom and his thoughts. And he shared a quote to me and reminded me from Benjamin Franklin. He said, justice will not be served until those who are unaffected are as outraged as those who are. And I think that's what I mean when I think the black community is hurting. If you've listened, and the word empathy and compassion over these last 4 months, how do you listen to these stories and not feel pain and not want to help? You know what I mean? It's like wearing a hoodie and putting your hands in 10 and 2.
So before I let this man get too far into the boo-hooing, you know, he's bringing up not understanding what black folks have to go to. I mean, like, you know, putting your hands at 10 and 2 and not being able to wear Nike gear. I didn't know that was a major problem right now in America, where cops pulling folks over when they see them in Nike gear. I'm just curious. I haven't heard of those types of profiling in quite some time. Yeah. But nonetheless, the whole 10 and 2 thing, what is he talking about? I mean, even if you're a white person and they pull you over and they walk up to your car and your arms just are flailing like this, if I was a cop, I might be a little concerned. If you got your arms hidden in your pocket or something like that, I might be concerned. I think that's just common sense. You know what? Just to let this officer know that I'm not a threat, I'm not hiding anything, I'm not going to pull a quick gun on him. Probably keep your hands 10 and 2 until you find out what the problem is. You know, knock, knock, knock. I'm letting you know, officers, I'm rolling down the window. Something like that. So they don't think that you're up to some shenanigans, whether you white or black. Because see, the last I checked, I've seen lots of video footages of white folks getting pulled over by the cops, jumping out, shooting at the cops, shooting at the cop when they walk up to the door, things like that. This isn't a problem that is just confined to black folks, but they don't want you to know that stuff. They want you to think that the only people cops require to keep their hands on the steering wheel are black folks. They want you to think that these cops are riding through black neighborhoods and then they're shocked because an all-black neighborhood might have a black kid or a couple of them walking around with Nike gear. Okay, could it be not the Nike gear if you're in an all-black neighborhood? Or could it be that maybe that person is a suspect? Maybe they radioed in and said, be on the lookout for somebody like that. The assumption that you walking around with Nike, I didn't know Nike gear qualified you to be some type of thug. I mean, that's almost an insult to Nike. I know Nike's probably like, what, are our clothes like what, only clothes that criminals wear? Man, if you gonna do the crime, you better do it in style with Nike, baby. Just do it. Yeah. Now let's get back to the boohooing.
Oh God, I better look out because I'm wearing Nike gear. Like what? What are we talking about?
I want to know what we're talking about too. I mean, this man's talking about something. What? Wearing a hoodie? And what is this? What are we talking about? I don't know what we're talking about. Right about now, I think a bigger threat than anybody walking around with a hoodie are all these folks walking around in masks. I mean, they just made it real easy for people like Antifa, Black Lives Matter, all these folks who's going around destroying property, burning stuff, shooting, killing, looting, and all that stuff. Now they got a great excuse for having their face covered. Now, forget the hoodie. They're rocking masks. And this has been something done way before the lockdown. Soon as Antifa was released on the public, they came out with what? The face mask all over. They only did it though in, not Republican, but Democrat cities, because, they didn't require them to, if you're going to be out there protesting and stuff, you got to have that mask off. You can't be out there with a mask on. I might think you're there for trouble, considering this was not during the lockdown, social distancing, mask requirements. No. This was during regular daytime hours where they decide we're going to go protest peacefully with our faces covered, backpacks on. I don't know what you coming for, man. You might have bad intentions. Get the mask off your face. Last I checked, I can't think of too many folks that just because they had a hoodie, cops pull them over. Hey, what are you doing with that hoodie on, buddy? Huh? You know what? I think he's up to trouble, Johnson. Put a couple pieces of hot lead in him. That'll calm him down. I tell you, and the sad part is I really think this dude is sincere. I think that he is drumming up extra emotion because of all of the hysteria that's been driven into these white liberals' minds. If I was a white dude and I had black friends, if I grew up around the brothers, had teammates and stuff, and all I hear is, man, you don't understand what we got to go through, man. We got the white man, all of that. Yeah, it might invoke some emotions in you, but yet run that past all of the elements that might be influencing this narrative, okay? And see, first thing I would check in to see if the data supports all of this outrage. Second thing, I would say, okay, my friend, how much have these things personally affected you? Don't make it up. Don't assume. I don't want that type of testimony like, yeah, one time me and my boy was walking, it was late at night, and we had all this black gear on and stuff, and a ski mask, and the cops pulled us over and said, what are you guys up to? See, things like that, you go, all right. But I'm talking about some full-blown accusations like what I'm hearing. Like, oh, man, just because I had a hoodie on, cop pulled me over. Stuff like that is more, suspicious than just folks assuming that all these things are, the things that cops profile folks and pull them over because they got a hoodie on. Mm-hmm. Or make you keep your hands at 10 and 2, not because of the cop safety, but because you're black. Pull over a white guy. Yeah, you put the hands down, relax. It's good, man. Hey, look, I trust you. Hey, tell you what. See, so this type of stuff, unfortunately, is really probably impacting this dude. He thinks he's getting all sensitive over all my friends, and I just can't relate to them, and this and that. Well, guess what? Your friends and all of them probably can't relate to the type of racism and hysteria that they're drumming up. Because when I listen to all these folks talk about racism, systemic rape, and all that, and LeBron, I'm scared. We all scared, black folks scared. When I hear all that type of stuff, I'm thinking straight up 1920, where they pull over a car full of black people like on 5 Heartbeats. Hey, boy, get out, put your hands on the car. Why don't you boys go sing us a song? I've got nothing but love for you, baby. That's what I'm thinking. Not this new updated version of oppression, segregation, all that stuff. But let's continue seeing what the issue is with this guy right here. And I might have a solution for his issue, which is a tissue.
And so you can't relate to that if you're white, but you can listen and you can try to help, because this is not okay.
It's not.
And we got to do better, man. We got to like lock arm in arm and be together. And in a football locker room, that stuff is gone. Those barriers are gone. And we got to do better.
As I was watching that painful clip, I was thinking to myself, how many of these folks right there was doing everything they could not to bust out laughing? That's what I was thinking, because I would have been the jerk. I would have been the guy going, you know, I would be that guy, be like, you know what, he's a jerk. He's a you know what. But as I listen to this guy get all sensitive and emotional, you know what I don't get about all this racism and stuff? I wonder, would it be an issue if folks just stopped talking about it? If folks simply address these type of situations as they jump up? Because see, I need to see these things become an epidemic before I feel like we have to tell our whole nation that we have made no progress when it comes down to race relations. Before I divide the country and try to push us towards a race war, I might want to check and make sure that anytime a shooting takes place of a white cop and black guy, he didn't have any reason to shoot this guy except for what? Racism. I might want to wait for the details to come out before I start unleashing rioters, protesters, Black Lives Matter, before I unleash these angry white Antifa liberals and Black Lives Matter people to harass white folks that ain't got nothing to do with this, sitting out peacefully, enjoying themselves. Do you think these type of tactics and narratives, the type of tactic of calling every white person in the United States, you know what, you're suffering from systemic racism deep down on the inside that you might not even be aware of that? Do you think that's going to make a rational white person get on board with your cause? No. You might be able to guilt some white folks into getting on board with your cause, but rational thinking white folks are saying, you know what? I don't have a problem with black people. I don't think that black lives don't matter. I just think that as Americans, all of us matter. And when you see something foul happen or evil, we all as Americans identify it. But when you have folks for political gain, for power, all that stuff, start putting a different narrative to anything that happens to a black person in America, regardless of how much they contributed to it, that's very dangerous. Now you got an instigator, someone driving us to the point where this guy gets hypersensitive and think this is a real problem. Look, man, I'm black and I'm not crying because I know that these things that this man just ran off are not real problems. They're not rapid fire. I have to see the statistics on that. If it's rapid fire, if every day I'm seeing this in my life, I'm right now. See, let me help people, okay? There was a time when I was a young boy. I was just a little young boy. My father and my mother took us down south. They were legitimately scared riding through certain parts of down south. They were legitimately scared when they rode past a police officer, not because they thought the police officer was going to pull out and give them just a ticket. They were afraid of the old school. Hey, do you know you got a busted tail light? Well, my tail light ain't psh. Now it is. Don't question me, boy. See, they were legitimately scared. But now, when the cops pull me over, my thought is, I don't want to get a ticket. It's never, you know, this cop pulled me over just because I'm black and is going to shoot and kill me. Now, is that to say that I've never been pulled over just because I'm black? You know, sometimes I guess wonder, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know. But the point is, I've never been disrespected right after the cop pulled me over just because I'm black. honestly, the black officer, the one black officer that pulled me over was worse than all of the white cops that ever pulled me over. He was more disrespectful than all the white cops. I don't know if he had to prove a point, that he wasn't going to cut the brothers some slack. But I'm thinking, dude, you're going over the top. I'm not like getting smart with you or anything. It's real sarcastic. So these narratives that they're trying to push and drum up all of this hysteria and make our country appear to be in a racial full-blown crisis. And I'm saying, are you kidding me? Dude, man up. Stop it. Somebody is manipulating your emotions, okay? Trust me. As a black conservative, I'm very conscious of what would happen if racism came back in full effect and start becoming a major problem with my people. I think there's this false narrative that black conservatives don't care about racial issues. No, we care about them if they pop up. But what we're not going to do is keep racism in the minds of all Americans like these are the major problems of black folks in America as a whole. When it comes up, we evaluate every case rationally. We don't become emotionally hysterical. We look at it and say, well, let's check, find out, come to a conclusion. If racism did come back like they're describing it, I will be the first person to throw on my black leather glove and say power to the people. But when I sense that the force is letting me know it's being drummed up by some people that want us to all feel like this is the #1 issue in America, that's when my antennas go up and I start looking at real hardcore data to discover, is this true or is it being made up? Are they manipulating our emotions? And how many of these black athletes, singers, actresses and actors, all of them, how many of them have been co-opted in their emotions to do the bidding of some people who wants to push a racial narrative? And when the stats don't line up, when your everyday life experiences don't echo the narrative, then you have to conclude they're making this up. That's not saying no racism exists, but on the scale that they're trying to make us feel like we got to just destroy our whole country and start fighting with everybody based on race, that's a lie. And it's being used for political gain. And it's a very, very dangerous game to play because people like that guy right there who probably really means this, he's not able to discern the game. He don't know he's even playing the game. The people in power, they like, oh yeah, we're playing the game. I'm sure on a chessboard, if the pieces were personified, they don't know that they're real, just pieces, personification. Well, the point is, they wouldn't know that they're part of the game. When people play chess, they just move the pieces. The two people just moving the pieces, they know we're playing a game. The pieces just like, well, I'm just down here doing whatever. Yeah, so it's the same thing with folks that don't realize that these people are keeping racism going and they're keeping it in your consciousness because I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't think about it if I didn't hear it every single day. Now, you've been listening to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of this nonsense. And it's getting harder and harder every single day. Man. So, there, little guy. I wish I could give him an air hug. Air hug. Yeah. So, with that being said, don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and the notification button. Find me every Wednesday night live in Kevin's Corner on Facebook, YouTube, and my radio blog talk show. Check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like their products, click on the link below this video. Put Kevin in the promo code and you'll get a 20% discount. And last but not least, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. The links are below to do that as well. And we'll check y'all out next time in Kevin's Corner. All right, take care.